Did you get a chance to maybe assess or put in perspective what the first 11 games of the season have been?
I mean, not really. I guess to be at the bye week though at 9-2, and obviously feeling confident about what we got going on here and the guys that we have in this locker room. It's a great feeling. I'll take this bye week compared to last year's bye week. I'll tell you that. But again, we're not into the playoffs yet. The job's not finished, and we're just trying to find a way to go 1-0 this week.
Given that you can't control it, all things being equal, would you prefer not to be playing in snow this weekend?
That would be ideal, yeah. But again, if there's anybody that's done it enough, it's me. I feel like I'm very comfortable with whatever elements are thrown our way, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast of playing here in Buffalo. You have to deal with elements like this, and you know, Coach Bowl, my coach in college, used to say, if you want to win in the North Atlantic, you got to train in the North Atlantic. So being out on the cold today, a little windy, and just trying to feel like you're getting used to what it could be. And obviously it's not snowing today, but we know at some point it probably will.
Why has this team been so successful coming out? What maintains that success?
I think Coach McDermott does a great job of making sure that, you know, when we get back, we're not necessarily picking up where we left off. It's more about like let's get back to what we did preseason, what we did in training camp, get back to the basics, focus on fundamentals, and just again playing situational football and doing simple better. And I think that's something that he's been preaching to us. And again, the guys in this locker room have taken that in stride over the last 7 or 8 years, whatever, however long he's been here. And again, it comes down to the guys on the field playing, but good leadership will do that.
How much of that message starts before the bye, like going into it, and how much of it is once you guys get back here?
Yeah, some of it starts before, just making sure that when we get back, get away from it in the bye, do what you need to do to relax and let the mind kind of be at ease. But when you come back, the vision and the goal that we have, it's still out there for us to do. So a lot of work to be done, and that's the approach that our guys have taken.
It's just beginning preparations for this defense, but what you've looked at on tape and getting ready for it, what challenges do they present?
Well, Fred Warner's maybe the best linebacker in football. He flies around. I think their D-line, obviously, with Bosa and Floyd. Obviously, Floyd was here last year. Two guys that can absolutely go and get after the quarterback. I think their DBs play very well within their system. They're getting healthier. I know that they've been a little banged up over the last few weeks, but I feel like they're getting healthier, and can't control who or who plays and when they get back. But it's a really, really good defense that they fly around. They force a lot of turnovers, so we got to be on our A game.
Speaking of getting healthy, so seems to be your receiving corps. Not sure if Keon's going to play, but I'm sure the week off helped Amari. And Keon for that matter. How much, as well as the guys who filled in have played, how much do you look to see this group as it was, what Amari and in his first game back, does that group kind of show to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very versatile group, guys that, we've talked about a long time. Don't really care about where the football goes. They're just focused on doing their job. And that's from 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, and even through the P squad guys that we have in that room. They're just so focused on doing their job and executing at a high level, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. And when you got a bunch of guys that do the right things, they're typically going to be in the right spots and make the plays for you. So it's just a group that works hard. And I love being able to play with these guys.
We never asked you. You got your hand examined during the Chiefs game, I believe. Everything's okay.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
I know he's on
we
the
were
other
all
side of the
concerned.
ball, but Matt Milano out there without the red jersey, flying around, an individual. How's he looked, and what kind of excitement and energy does that give you guys, getting a guy like him back?
Yeah, I mean, it looks good out there. Again, I'm not sure if he's going or not this week or next week or whatever the case is, but just extremely happy for him of getting back out there and flying around and making some plays, and he's battled quite a few things over the last year and a half, so the boys are very happy for him, I'll tell you that.
Can you imagine yourself not playing a football game for 13 months like he's got to go through?
It's tough. I'd like to not think that, and it's hard to put yourself in somebody's shoes. Again, a guy that absolutely loves football. He's been chomping at the bit to get back. Whether it's, like I said, this week or next week, when he steps foot on the field, though, he's going to be ready to go.
Asked you about Khalil Shakir's success this season, and you talked about just his spatial awareness. What is it about his understanding of space within the field that he just excels at?
Yeah, I think, again, just the awareness that he has of where he's at. He does a good job of feeling where some of the other players are around him. And, again, the way he's able to kind of get low and absorb hits and stay on his feet. He does an exceptional job with that, but his awareness and zone coverages of just understanding where to sit down, when to give me eyes, the body language that he speaks with is super quarterback friendly, and he's just extremely easy to throw to.
Learn something like that.
In terms of my perception or Khalil?
Perception, Khalil accelerating and excelling at that on the field. How do you learn about the space within zone coverages or within just feeling out an offense?
Yeah, well, I think some guys understand it better than others. He's an extremely cerebral guy. He's very smart. That's one thing, but two, it's just some guys have a knack for finding windows and finding zones and controlling your body in the right ways and learning how to catch the ball and position yourself to get upfield. And he does it, like I said, at an exceptional rate. And sometimes it's some guys got it, some guys don't, and he's got it.
When he has that knack, how much does that change what you're thinking of, like, oh, it's third and long, but I know he can make this happen? Or already know something that's still ready to, but how much does it change for you guys?
That changes a lot, and I think it forces defenses to understand that too. Like, we may not push the ball beyond the sticks every third down. Like, you have to be aware of us throwing underneath the sticks and letting our guys go get it. But again, that's a result of the guys that we have.
By last week, you said not going to see for this compared to that. It felt like last year you kind of like needed it, and then it set a new kind of standard and tone. How do you avoid kind of coming out of it rusty or slow? Because you guys were humming before.
Yeah, I think, again, just trusting the leadership in what Coach McDermott's telling us, relying on the guys in this locker room. Still have a lot of veteran leaders in this locker room that lead by example and do things the right way. And, I think it was a good bye week because it allows our team to get a little healthier going late into the season. And, I guess it's just leaning on each other and just trusting McDermott.
The leadership that you just touched on, the caliber of play that you guys have brought this way this year, that last year coming out of the bye, you guys needed a run just to have a chance to make it to the playoffs. This year, you have a chance to possibly clinch the division on Sunday if the Miami game goes you guys' way tomorrow.
Again, it feels good, but, we're sitting here and doing a lot of self-scout and just feels like we still haven't put enough games of two halves together, right? Like we've had a couple games where we feel like we've played good from first quarter through fourth quarter, but a lot of games it's like we're either low in the first or second and then finding ways in the third or fourth or vice versa. So, again, just trying to find ways where we can come out and put four quarters together each and every game. And, again, that's an ongoing process. And but, again, I feel confident with the guys that we've got in this locker room to get that done.
I think this is the first time since you've been here that the Bills have scored 30 points 5 weeks in a row. Can you just describe, how you're feeling, how you're seeing the game over this stretch? Yeah,
I feel like I'm seeing it well, understanding what Joe's calling and just understanding where outlets are. I think we're doing a good job of running the ball, especially in situational spots. And again, guys are just finding ways to get open, catch the ball, and make plays for us. And when you throw that on with a defense that's scored a time or two, and again, playing smart football and taking care of the football, those are typically the results you're going to get.
How meaningful is it that you're scoring 30 points, and yet you personally, your numbers are lower than they were, since going back to 2019? How meaningful is that?
It's very meaningful. It means we're doing it a lot of different ways. And again, I think the most important thing is just the 9 wins. Whatever it takes, and I've said this for as long as I've been in the league, and I'll say it for as long as I'm in the league, is I don't care what the stats look like as long as the win columns are far greater than the loss column, and that's all we're trying to focus on.
You've had some chances this season to go to teammates events. I think Khalil's a adoption event, Deion's talent show. What do you like about those? What do you learn about your teammates and things like that?
Well, you get to see them outside of football and outside of the facility, and again, developing relationships with your teammates, I think, is one of the coolest parts about our job, and making lifelong relationships and lifelong friendships with these guys in this locker room. And I think it's a really cool thing to see and support them in their efforts to, whether it's raise money for charity or whatever the case may be, and being there to support them because of again, how much hard work that they put into playing football and playing on this team. And so the least I can do is show up and give support.